Friends, it's Angela with To Restore You, and I am here to show you a couple of fun last projects. We're going to do a side pocket using that same envelope process. So if this were inside of a journal, you'd have 1, 2, 3 pockets to put all of your fun things. I've gone ahead for the sake of time and went ahead and cut this envelope. I'll put this here in 3 random sizes. Again, I did not measure. I can already tell that this is off just a smidge, but that's okay. And all you're gonna do is, I use the one that was on the bottom that's already glued as my base because it's deeper, and then I have that additional area behind it to use for the second flap. So all you're doing to adhere these is layer these on top of each other with a little bit of glue. On the top, dang it, that's not quite exactly, well, the reason is because I didn't measure and they're a little bit off, but that's okay. So then I just seal these up at the bottom. And again, I'm using the Close to My Heart liquid glass because I know that that adheres really well and I won't have any problems with it. I'm gonna make this one just a little bit shorter than the last one. Now, this is all you're doing in order to make this pocket. Now, if you wanted to, like I did, you could use some random pieces of your paper and embellish this before you put it on, obviously. I kind of wanted to have this a little bit different, so I decided, and I didn't measure, and so I knew it was going to be off. So instead, I wanted to keep it white. So I am just going to add these afterwards so you can see. Let's see, I think these are all single. I almost feel like that needs to go there. That needs to go there. Now I'll show you another trick because I'm off, right? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to ink this just a little bit so that you can tell where the pockets are actually at. And I think I'm going to use, if I can find it, I think I'm going to use brown because that's what most of all of this is. And I am not being neat about this. This is one of those projects where we're just rolling with it. There is no rules. I do need to wash my hands again. Wet wipes, they're fabulous. And this one, I don't know. We'll see what happens. All right, I'm gonna set this, whoa, I'm gonna set that aside. That's the one thing I love about this glue is that, especially when you're working with scraps, you can usually just do one strip of it and it works fairly well. And like I said, if you're doing this for a gift for someone, you might want to go back and check and make sure that it's all adhered for the sake of our tutorial. I'm going to save you all some time. Because I really want to get to This fun project. It was my favorite out of all of those that, when I was coming up with designs for the next big project, which is a floral. I mean, most everything is floral themed. And so I was like, well, oh, I must have written on that one. Okay, now, here's the other thing you can do. And I'm just going to do this because, look at that, 3 more scraps. Saving those babies. I'm just doing this because I know that I didn't measure this. So I'm going to make this into 2 pockets. So here's what you got. You've got 3 pockets, 4 if you tape it down. We're going to cut this in half. This is also, let's see, how long is this? This is also a really great idea for photos. So like if you are into scrapbooking and, ooh, this is going to be, okay, it worked. If you're into, you know, scrapbooking and you like to keep photos, you could stick some cute, fun photos in there too. Would work well. That one, for whatever reason, seems to be adhered. I bet that's not going to be the case once this all dries, but we're just going to roll with it. Let me just check here. So now I have 2 pockets that match. You probably could have figured that out, but you know, sometimes you just got to look at things differently. And there we go. I see that. And there you have it. 2 more pockets, just like this one. It's large. And we can embellish that more if we want, and voila. Last but not least, my very, very favorite. So I'm going to make room here. Whoa. You can tell it's the end of the day and I'm getting a little punchy because I got to go back and do laundry. All right, here's what we're going to make. We're going to use this very same envelope, and we are going to make a variety of pockets. And there's these that are single, and then there's some that are just a fold-over pocket, like that. You could do, that's the same. And this is the other one I did, so that you could just write in it, kind of like a matchbook. And all you do, I'm getting a little messy over here. I hope you can see this. I'm going to just take as little as I can off the edges just so that it opens up. And then I'm going to cover the whole thing. And I think I'm going to only do the outside, because if I decide to do something where people can write on it, I kind of want to have that blank space. So we'll just go with that. Excuse me. So here we go. And if I remember correctly, I had to do kind of an overlap, which is not a big deal. You can always hide those seams with embellishments. You'll probably notice when you're watching my videos, I don't add a lot of bulky embellishments. And I do that because I use these in, you know, journals, junk journals, creative journals, mindful journals. I use them in scrapbooks. And sometimes I don't like all that bulky, all that bulk in it. It makes it harder for, especially with journals, it makes it harder for it to lay flat. And I like to, gosh darn it. Oh, well, that's okay. I promise you that I do sometimes measure. And this is how we're going to solve this problem with it not going to the end. And I'm sorry, you guys, I'm doing this really quickly so that you can see. And while I have my trimmer out, straightening this up because it's going to drive me crazy. There we go. And when I say straight, I mean sort of straight. Sort of straight-ish. Okay. I don't want to forget that I've got this little flap here, so just evening everything out. The less I have to get out one piece of equipment and then another piece of equipment, the better. Okay, so this pretty much easy peasy. I think we should just go this way down each one of the sections. Now I'm going to do it going this way because my cutter goes down this way, and I hope you guys can see that I'm sitting down. And I don't want this to tear because there's a few spots that are not yet adhered, which I'm not worrying about for this. I know I'm not a very good example of this awesome Fiskars cutter, but it is fabulous when it comes to measuring. And of course, like I said, I'm just winging it. So now we have our cover, and we have a couple of things that we can do with it. So the first thing, and the reason that I use this envelope and the paper is because oftentimes that paper is just way too thin. And if you really want to use this for a pocket, then you know, you want it to be something that you can turn. We're going to use this one for this. We're going to make that. This one we're going to use, I think I'm going to try to make 2 of those. And then this one we'll use for that. Okay, so I'm going to do it because I wanted a couple of these short pockets. So, and I'm putting them this is another way you could put your pockets together like I did the last one, but all right, here we got some scraps. I'm just gonna stick those in there. And again, I usually do this all before I trim the edges, or, you know, but this tends to get a little thick. So some of these I'm doing now. mean, this is so easy. And I mean, as long as you're saving all your scraps, you have, you know, options galore without having to get out a whole piece of paper, unless, of course, you're going with a certain theme or whatnot. But great for teachers' gift tags, for gift cards, for journals. And sometimes these don't stay together the best, so well, I'm working on another one. One down. Let's see. I'm going to put this one aside because you guys got the idea on that. Let's go ahead and do this one. So this one I do want to make sure it's even. So you can't do the Angela guesstimate. We're going to go with 2.5. So see, I'm just lining it up right there. All of my bad measuring is taken care of. Boom. Now, let's see. I don't think this is going to be long enough for the, but it's perfect for the rest of it. And this is just some one-sided fabric that I've got. All right. Let's see what we can put in here. Well, I've got this, so we'll just use this. Two different colors, by the way, which is kind of cool. It's one of the things close to my heart. Does it? I don't know if you can really tell that, but it's light on one side and dark on the other. I just checked our lips. They're still not dry. That's the one thing. It does take quite a while for them to get dry. So you can't, you just kind of have to set them aside. Okay. I totally told you that I was going to make this one right now, and I'm making this one right now. Lord have mercy. Okay. I feel like, there we go. This is why you would want to have a bone folder right now, because this is really thick fabric, or thick paper. Okay, so I did the same thing. This is double thickness because I put it two-sided. Punch it up. And you know what? This one, let's see if we can do it. I think I can. Remember, just like how we do ribbon. Of course, I made my paper come, or my glue come off. There's probably always a better way to do this. That's more efficient. I know, but sometimes I'm just kind of winging it, so And I don't like that. Didn't get all the way. There we go. Okay, so you get the picture. Let's see. Should we put it? This is kind of different, so we'll just stick that in there. And this one I will probably come back and tie this so that I can use it in a journal. I think I'll tie it a little bit different and then maybe embellish it a little bit more. I'm going to leave this without any distressing for right now and let it dry and see where we end up. But that's it. And you just created 1, 2, 3, 4 little spots that you can put something or say something or write something. Fun, fun. So we've got this one. We just did that little one. And maybe we could come back and do some stamping on it if we wanted. We've got this fold out that is just like this prototype. It's cute. And then this one, we're going to use this. So I'm going to do this exactly the same. It's going to be chunkier. And all I'm doing, rounding my corners. And I want something up here. What do I got? Make sure it matches. And we are done. Ta-da! So just in a few short minutes, you can do any one of these projects. And I do know from experience that they only take probably each one of them. I mean, if you're going start to finish and you've already know, like I've got a bunch of scraps laying around and I'm just going to use those up, maybe at the most complicated of them, which was some of those full envelopes, maybe 5 minutes. And I mean, you can have a whole, you could do this for Christmas gifts. I don't know about you, but I've been getting better, but I have this obsession about every holiday, or every Christmas, I should say, that I have to match all of my wrapping paper to my tree. It's just a thing. I've always done it. The last year though, of course, it was COVID. So, I decided that I was going to use everything I had, up before, I bought anything new, and it actually served me very well. And my daughter Demi picked out the color theme for the tree, and it just so happened that I had everything left over matched, so it was perfect. But I just think it would be fun to use just craft paper, brown craft paper, kind of like I used on the back of this. Wrap all your gifts in it and then use these kind of tags with some fun ribbons. How inexpensive, how adorable. You could decoupage your, all of your gift wrap if you want. Maybe that's what I'll do this year. I don't know. But I want to thank you, as always, for joining me. It's always a pleasure to be able to show you something new. And if you have questions, please make sure that you go ahead and put them in the comments or reach out to me at restorationharmony1 at Gmail. And just give me a shout out on social media as well. So with that, I want you to all be well. Take time to just be, and cheers. Until next time.